morning, Fugudu. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Crick Chups. After long, we are meeting with a good news that you are starting as a coach, national coach for Nepal. And I think it is not the first time, it is the second time you are returning back to Nepal. So congratulations, many congratulations from my side and from my audience. We wish you all the best. So before I start, I have a feeling that whenever there is a, there is a problem or the, board is in problem, you are being called. Like there has been a history of that, right? And this time around, when I was looking at Nepal, what is happening in Nepal cricket, I found that there were like 4 senior players were sacked. They were not given the contract, right? And now you are in this troubled time, you are taking over from Dave Watmore, right? So what is your take on that?
Yeah, firstly, good morning, and I'm really glad to be in your program. So thank you for for the wishes, and like I always looking forward for the new challenges. It's I know that I'm fully aware, and I've been in touch with every party there, the cricket board and the players, and so I mean, for me, it's don't want to talk too much about it, but I strongly believe that there is nothing that we cannot solve.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of these issues, current issues, are very common around the world, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that we all can get together and solve it.
So considering that you are going to take over, and the first very important tournament is coming up is World Qualifier, right, for T20 2022. So what do you think that without these 4, are you hoping that these 4 senior players will be included into the team, or there is no contract, so they may not be included?
So the current situation is that they have been taken out from the captaincy, vice captaincy, and those 4 players were taken out from the contracts for 6 months. So that's the current situation, and there's no restriction for them to play in the team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about we sit down and get everybody comfortable, and we have to respect the cricket association. That's the main body, and then we have to make sure that the players are comfortable so that they can focus on cricket. I'm sure that all these things will settle down soon, and we'll have the best strength possible to going into the qualifier.
Okay, so coming to Oman, right? I think the team will be traveling to Oman for the qualifier, right? And what are the chances you see? Because considering that only 2 teams is going to qualify further, so what are the chances for Nepal?
These qualifiers are very tough ones. Always, from the first game to the last hour of the tournament, you don't know which way it's going. So everything that we do from once we start the training camp, everything that we do from the beginning matters to reach the goals. For me, it's a very short time period. I would say about 45 days, really not enough, to get everything done the way I want. But given the facilities that we have in Nepal and the availability of the players, I think we can achieve what we want, at least 90%. And one plus thing for Nepal is playing in the Asian, still Oman in the Asian conditions, so we may not have to adjust anything to the different conditions, so that Nepal is fully aware about these conditions, and it's just once we within that 45 days, once we top up everything the way we want, I think we are going to be very competitive in that tournament. And like you said, it's very tough tournament when especially Ireland, Oman, UAE, Canada is there. Even some, the Middle East countries like, Bahrain and them, like they're very competitive because there are lots of expats players in those teams. So especially T20 cannot take it easy. But I'm confident that we're going to have some good game plans and we're going to get our players to be in the peak in the right time. So and going to take it from there.
So have you already identified key players from other teams and you know how to tackle them? Already have a plan? I'm sure you must have already planned it out, right? So
it's I've been in the associate level for the last 15 years, and 90% of the time I have seen them in and out, except for some new players coming in now. Fully very, very familiar with almost every team.
Tell me something about your what is your equation with Sandeep, because he is a new captain now and he has taken over from this trouble. There is a controversy going on. So what will be your suggestion to the captain, and are you going to interfere in his captaincy and to make more cordial atmosphere in the team, or you are just going to let him?
No, he is. We all have to admit that as an associate player, he is playing the highest level possible.
Yeah.
And I think, when you take IPL and BBL, like the Big Bash, is one of the tough tournaments in the world.
Yeah.
And he's one of the guys who play his game naturally and comfortable in that level. So he's coming out of with very good experience and knowledge of the game, and especially the T20 version. So I'm sure that he with that knowledge, we're going to be really good with his leadership, and the rest I need to manage for sure. And he's still a youngster, and I'm sure that he needs guidance from not only from me, from everyone who's around. And everyone is bound to make mistakes here and there when you start a new role. But I'm confident that the experience that he's going to bring and the as a player also, as a capacity that he has, will be really good for the Nepal cricket.
So you are already working with him in background right now, or you are just have you started communication with the captain or the team?
I've been communicating with everybody basically, of course with the captain and the almost almost every player. We haven't come to any plans yet. I just want to when you have to solve issues, it'll be always good to sit down face to face and sort out things. So eager to go and meet the whole bunch.
I know the way you operate, and I will not delve into what team you want to play because you have already something in mind. I don't want to disclose that, or you will not want to disclose it. But tell me two teams which you think is equally contender for moving forward for a world qualifier beside Nepal.
Ireland and Oman is the two teams that been very accustomed to T20 cricket. I think they have been playing in the last 3 or 4 World Cups, T20 World Cups regularly. And so they're accustomed to it, and they've been, of course, Ireland is a full member, and their funds are more than associate country, and the facilities are there for them. And Oman is became a good T20 team recently, and they are playing good cricket. So and for us to beat them in their own soil, we had to make a lot of effort to we had to make a lot of effort on that. So challenges are there, but we're going to play our best cricket. That I'm confident.
Interesting. You don't see Canada as a contender, but anyway, in Namibia you were the US coach, and Canada cannot qualifier, and Canada was beaten. Now again you are there. Canada want to move forward, but I think Ubudu is there with Nepal, so let's see what happens. But to be very frank, Dave Watmore is not a new guy for you. You have been working with him a pretty long time, right? If I'm not wrong, 1996 World Cup, when you were the part of the team, Sri Lankan team, which finally won that tournament. Dave Watmore was your coach, so you had a very long relationship, and you both go very deep, like in the past. So how was your experience with him when you were taking over from him? Like, was there any formal handover process or something, or you were always in touch with him?
No, like I think, like I mean, Dave. Of course, I know him like way ago. Like when he was a Sri Lankan coach, and he may be the first my Sri Lankan overseas coach at that time. Before that, we always had local coaches, and he's one of the guys who came and changed the training patterns, and and brought some really good system into the Sri Lankan cricket. And that actually led us to win the World Cup. And I mean, there is no question that he's a great coach, and he's a great guy. I'm sure that he has done a lot of things to Nepal cricket as well in that short stint that he had. I haven't lately in touch with him, but I mean, I was watching. I was following Nepal cricket every time, and they played good cricket in the last 2-3 years. Very competitive in the ODI setup. So I'm sure a lot of good things had happened that time.
Yeah, their ODI record is good, but I'm not sure about T20 record, how they are doing it right now. But hopefully, with your advice and guidance, they will march forward like anything. So coming back to Dave Mathur, Dave Watmore is the reason why you came to coaching? Was he the guy who inspired you?
Not, I mean, I can't hard to say that, because I came to Canada in 2001 and never thought of getting into coaching. And basically, I retired from my first class cricket in 2000. I mean, in year 2000, and moved to Canada in 2001. And I wanted to do live coaching in Sri Lanka, but then when I moved to Canada, I never thought of getting into any of those things and looking into different angle. And coming back to Canada, I just got caught into everything. Played decent cricket locally, and then once I was eligible, I got qualified to play for Canada, and then automatically the head coach position came into my plate. So. And I'm very thankful that for the people who believed me at that time, and that helped me to start my coaching career. Especially that time president. I just want to mention his name. Actually, Ben Senek is one of the very good gentlemen that I met in Canadian cricket at that time, and with his blessing, I started everything, and this is where I am at the moment.
Great, and you have been doing a great job, Pubudu. I must say that it is not once, like 3-4 times you have shown the world that you are, the mantra of winning tournaments. So with that, I will come to another interesting topic, which is very close to my heart, and you know about it, Canadian cricket. So, when I posted about your appointment as a coach of Nepal, I saw Ontarian Cricket Association's president and vice president coming and congratulating at in my post. So, in all these years, when you were not associated with Canadian cricket, does anybody come from Ontario cricket or say Cricket Canada approached you and asked for your guidance or your help?
Ontario Cricket actually was in touch with me, and they actually wanted me to run the Ontario program, which is scheduled to start in junior program. It is scheduled to start in January, and I actually started. I went one day there, and for the selection and stuff. and I was very keen to help Canadian youngsters. And unfortunately, then I got this job, so I informed them I may not be available during the winter for them.
Mhm.
Other than that, I didn't have any anything like any coordination or any discussions about the Canadian cricket basically.
And you have time and again you have reiterated this point that money is not a big factor. It is a factor, but you can always go around the budget of Canadian cricket. But regardless of that, there is no communication from their side. Okay, so but to be very frank, and you must be honest, Ubudhu, what are the chances of Canada?
But I'm sorry, but repeat again.
What are the chances of Canada getting into World
Like
Qualifier?
I mean I like the question. I wanted to answer that properly, but like I mean in the past I was quite a bit of keeping quiet about it because I don't want that much don't want to talk about too much about the Canadian cricket. But now since that I'm not no more again there for a few years, it's just that I'm surprised some of the things like when it comes to international cricket, like even though you have good players, if you have good talent, it's hard to do something or go and win a tournament in training a few weeks or a month or two. It's a long process. It's about even for your greatest players, like when you talent is no more a question around the world. It's not about like one team. Maybe when we were playing, if you are really talented, a good talented team goes and dominate a bit. But nowadays, if you see even in associate cricket, everybody is talented. It's about how you do things, like how well you are trained and how well trained to do the job. Like I don't see that vision from like in the Canadian system. But at the same time, I'm not saying that the Canadian team chances are low, because any team, somebody can, one or two players can come into form and dominate the tournament. But if you ask me, the Canadian chances are, that's the only way that Canada can get through. I mean, playing as a team means like when you say playing as a team, you can have like good atmosphere within the group and they can have the hunger to perform. But are you ready for that? That's the question. That will not happen when you don't have that proper process building up into a tournament. And these are not like 1 day or 1 month, 2 month things. It's about planning for years, and get the right people in the right places and pushing every player into their maximum, and keep them in their toes, like so that when the big tournament comes, they can perform. If not, I mean that's one way of doing it, and the other route is like you go through a tournament and expect one or two guys to come to a form where can do things for the team. So
did you watch the last game when Canada played US in Antigua recently, and we lost because of there was a confusion, then the game went to the super hour. Did you watch it closely, and what you thought that we missed out on?
Yeah, I did watch. I mean, the Canada played decent cricket in that tournament, and unfortunate that they were not they didn't have the awareness of closing the game properly. I mean, US was like pushing for that second run, and Canada was celebrating before that, and I thought it was kind of especially when you have 2 runs to tie in the last ball. Basic of cricket is you cannot leave the wicket until the game is over.
And did you find it weird that even coach was celebrating?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to comment any personal things, but yeah. I mean, it's just that I think the coaches may not expect that situation to come. But yeah, in that level, anything can happen. We have to be ready for everything.
Yeah. So I will not give you much trouble, Pabudu. I'll take out from the Canada and wish you all the best. How long you are gone, like in Nepal?
My current contract is for 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah, and but every time whenever I get a chance, I'm going to come back to see the family.
Good.
Yeah.
But within when you come here, like a short break, like 1 month, 2 months, or like extended 6 months, is it like every year you are going to spend 6 months there?
I mean, every time that I will have a break, more than 10-15 days, I'm going to come here, and then it's all about the preparing for the next tour. I believe if the situation become normal around the world with this COVID situation, the Nepal will be very busy next year.
Yeah.
With lots of cricket, because they missed few tournaments in this year because of the COVID situation, and they pushed back those one to the next year. So, but still waiting to see how the world situation grows up with this fourth wave.
Yeah, but regardless, Pabudu, we are very, very proud of you. We are happy that a Canadian is doing so much good for all the associate countries, except Canada, because we have no value for you here right now. So, but one day we'll realize that fact that we need the right people for the right job. With that, I'll say goodbye. I'll not hold you for long because you have a long weekend. You have to travel. Yeah, I think you have to go and pick your son, right? So all the best, and see you once you are back in Canada.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for having me in your program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Yeah. Bye. See you.